yesterday. The structure within a structure and structure with pointers or structure pointers topic is covered, and I hope you have read that. If not, please go through that recording once again. And if you have some doubts, you can definitely ask. I'm sharing a screen. Just 2 minutes. Okay. So we have seen that structures are available to prepare our own or the user defined data type, which can cover the heterogeneous data types together, which is very different than the array whatever we are using. Even you can use array within a function, within a structure also. We have also seen in the last lecture the pointer to a structure, where we are declaring a pointer to a structure, and with the arrow operator or dot operator and indirection operator together, we can access the members of that particular structure using pointers. Okay, so now we will see how can we pass the structure members to the function. Members which are present. If this program, this is a structure which is defined by name addition. It has three data members or three members. Those are A, B, C. All the three are of integer types. Okay, so we are going to have a declaration of a structure, and as soon as sum is created, this kind of memory piece will be allocated to it. Okay, which will be sum dot A, sum dot B, and sum dot C. Okay, and so this is a normal declaration. So these members can also be passed to the function. So let us see, a function is declared by name add, which is taking two integers as arguments, and it is also returning one variable of type integer. Okay, when we go to main, we have declared a structure, and we are entering the values of its members, sum dot A and sum dot B. Now I want to pass these two members to the function. Simply we can call that function, and there is nothing difficult in this. We are simply writing, instead of A, B, we are writing sum dot A and sum dot B. So sum dot A will be checked whether it needs an integer or not. Sum dot B, whether it matches with this input or not. So both the arguments are there, and it is returning a value which will be stored in the third member of your structure, that is sum dot C. So here is the definition of addition. Sorry, by mistake I have written here add. It is correct. Add. So value of sum dot A will be passed to X, sum dot B will be passed to Y, and it is going to return the total, that is sum 1 will be returned to sum dot C. So I think there is nothing difficult in this, just like a normal variable. As we define an array, and every array element is treated as a separate element, here also we are defining a structure, but every element can be defined separately or managed separately. That's what this particular program is illustrating. Likewise, when I talk about structure as a user defined data type, and we can create variables of structure, then we can definitely pass those structures to the function. We can definitely pass those structures to the function, and as a single unit. And also we can return a structure as a single unit. How we can do that? That we'll see. A structure is defined by name student, and which has character name as 50 and age as integer. So there will be 50 characters, as one character takes one byte, and let us say 4 integers. So total size of student will be 54 bytes. Okay, so this will be name and this will be age. This way it can be created. So now we are defining a function called as display. This display is not returning anything, but is taking structure variable as the argument. Direct structure variable. That means the huge size of memory it is taking. So definitely it is not going to, let us say that it is initialized at 100. So 100, this, the size, the total number of total bytes it will be accommodating are 100 to 153. In total, 54 bytes they have. Total 153 till 153. So total 54 bytes it is going to accommodate. Now main is declared. The definition of display is yet to come, but it is sure that it is going to take a structure variable of type student as an input. That is why student is defined first and then function is defined, because at this moment we are using a student, so it has to be declared before. So this is a structure prototype and this is a function prototype. We cannot have display first and then student, because student is used inside display, so it should be known that student is in existence. Then we are inside main, and it is global. We can now use student anywhere in the program. So inside main we have declared one variable s1 of type structure. Okay, let us say that I have entered a name as ABC and age as 19. Okay, so here we are declaring s dot name. Okay, this particular thing is we are actually avoiding /n. For that we are using it. So here the name is entered and the age is entered. Okay, let us say that name is ABC and age is 19, and simply we are calling it as display s1. Now what will happen? This s1 will be copied to this s. Okay, they will be copied to s. So actually virtually what happens is this, it is not going to form a new variable, but only pointers will be passed. But of course here we will just assume that s1 is now copied to s. Okay, now s dot name is s1 dot name and s dot age is a s2 dot age, and thus we can print. So it is going to, this program is going to print ABC and 19. This will be the simple output of this program. This way we can pass the argument. It is very simple. We are just passing the variable, but it will pass the whole structure, all the variables independently, and they can be managed separately. Similarly, we can also return a function. The same program we are taking here. Only thing is it is trying to return something instead of taking an argument. Okay, this program is illustrating the returning of structure. So get information is a function which is returning a variable of type structure student. So student is defined, function is defined, a variable s is defined, and now unlike previous example where we were scanning s dot name and s dot h, we are bringing the information from here. So as soon as this function is called, the cursor will go here. Here a variable of type structure is a structure student is defined, that is s1. Here student is global, that's why I can use it here as well as I can use it in the main. So s1 is created. And now here I am entering the value of s1 dot name, which will be directly copied to, so it should be copied to s dot name, and we are entering as s1 dot age, which should be copied to s dot age. Now here we are simply saying return s1. Even though it's a huge element, it is treated as a single element always. That's why it is possible for us to return a structure variable. And always remember, the one function can return only one value, but S1 itself is considered as a single value or single unit. That's why it is possible for us to return it. Okay, so S1 will be returned to S. So it becomes S is equal to S1 virtually, not exactly. S becomes S1. That means S dot age become S1 dot age, and S dot name become S2 S1 dot name. So it simply, it will be copied. So if I'm, let us say that I'm entering ABC here, and I'm entering age 20 here. So it is going to print, this statement is going to print ABC and 20. Okay, so these values will be copied in this. So this way we can pass a structure to the function, and also we can return a structure to a pointer, to a function. So these things you need to remember, because we are going to use these number of times. So I hope the thing is clear. Any doubt to be asked? If you have a doubt, just put it in the chat box or ask, or at least prompt that it is clear. So I expect that the things are clear to you. Yes or no? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Few things which now we'll see how to handle the pointers, array of a structure. Before that, just a small thing I want to share. The way we can, someone has asked me this question at the beginning of the structure topic, that can we initialize the variables in the, or members in the structure by in a curly braces, the way we do in arrays. Yes, it is possible. So let us say that a student structure is defined, and it has a ID, it has a name, and it has a percentage. Okay, so this type of student structure is defined, and we are creating a variable called as record1. So record1 can be directly initialized in this way. Okay, in this case, this will be the ID, this will be the name, and this will be the percentage score of a student. Okay, so directly we can initialize the members of the structure in this way, putting their initial values in the curly bracket in a proper sequence. I cannot have one 90.5 and Raju. It won't match. Okay, because the things are structured in that particular way only. Okay, so this is a possible. We can initialize the variables. Now coming to this part, an array of structure. As we can declare an array of integer, float, or character, we can also declare an array of structure. An array of structure in C can be defined as a collection of multiple structure variables where each variable contains information about different entities. Now, this is actually to some extent contradicting the definition of an array, because array, every time we say that it is a collection of similar elements, but a structure is a collection of dissimilar elements. Here we are collecting various dissimilar elements which are put in a single unit. So here, while constructing these arrays, we are considering array as a unit, structure as a unit, and that structures are brought together. What is inside a structure is not the matter of that array controller. Okay, so that's why it is possible. We are treating structure as a single unit, and we are bringing the structures together, no matter what is there inside a structure. So the array of structure in C are used to store information about multiple entities of different data types. So if I have 100 students, then I cannot have student 1, student 2, student 3, and so on. Instead, I am just putting student 100 or ST 100. That way, it is also called as collection of structures, and this is a definition of uh, a structure, a student. So a student structure is defined, and immediately following to that, I can define an array of size 30. I am defining an array of size 30. So automatically there will be 30 student structures created. And they will be referred as ST0, ST1, ST2, ST3, the way we are defining the, we are using arrays. So first student record will be defined as S0, okay, like S12. So similarly, now this is the way we are accessing arrays. This is the way we are accessing structure arrays also. So we'll just go for a example program how to access it. We have defined again the same structure I am using here. We have defined 3 students, okay. So the size of student is 3, so it can accommodate 3 records. So what it will be: record 0, record 1, and record 2. Record 1, record 0, record 1, and record 2. In this, see how an array can be how a member element can be accessed with the structure arrays. Now it is, we have record 0, record 1, and record 2. So record 0.id will become 1. So it will be nothing but an array of records. For your understanding, I am drawing this way. It will not be this way. This will be the array record. This is going to have ID. This is going to have name, and it is going to have percentage. And this will be its 0th element. The arrangement will be something like this. This will be its first element. This will be its second element. Okay. So let us say that it is starting from 100, and total size will be 4 plus 30 plus 8. So total size is 42. So 100 to 141, this will be the, so this will be 142. The second element will start from 142, and the third element will start from 184. Okay. So this way the records will be stored. This will be the records, this way will the record stored. So this is record 0, record 0 ID, record 0 name, record 0 percentage. Then in continuation, record 1 ID, record 1 name, and record 1 percentage. In continuation, record 2 information. So this will be Raju with 86.5%. Sorry, record name, record ID as 1. I have made a mistake here. Record ID will be 1. Its name is Raju, and 86.5. So similar to this will be the other record with record number 2. Surendran will be the name, and 90.5 will be his percentage. And I can now use all these elements very separately, very independently. I can modify them. I can add something in that. I can put a new value in that. So anything we can do. So ultimately, what happened here? We have created 3 records of name student, but each record is going to have 3 variables in that. So in short, in a single statement, actually we are creating 9 records. If I am saying it 100, we are creating 300 records. So with a single element, with a single statement, your C is allowing you to create huge number of variables when we operate on the structure. Here one more function is written here. See, you can see the function string copy function, strcpy, which is a part of string.h, and we can, what will happen is this, the second string will be copied in the first string. So this will be the source string, this will be the target string. So string copy function can also be used. This way we are defining arrays of a structure. The definition will be something like this. Let's see, it's another example where we are taking structure employee, which has ID, name and salary. So the size of it will be 4, 5, 9 plus 8. The total size will be of 70. So here so it is for example, it is taking it as 13. So let us stick to that. It is taking this size as 4. So 13 bytes. 13 bytes is the size of it, and we are declaring 2 employees. We are declaring 2 employees. So this will be a kind of arrangement it is going to have. Let us say that this is starting from 100. Okay, this will be 104, because this 4 size we are taking for integer ID. Then 5 characters, it should be 5, not 10. It should be then 5 characters, so it will be till 109, and 110 will be the starting of salary. So employee 0 dot ID, employee 0 dot immediate that at this point for the next record. Similarly, if we have employee size, array size as 10, all the elements will be arranged in that sequence. So we need to, this is a simple array structure where one array member is followed with the next array member, is followed with the next and so on. Okay. So what is a structure this particular unit is having? It's a list botheration of array manager. Okay. It is not going to see what is there inside it. For it, only this exists. And this exists, and it will just make sure that both of them are of same data type. If they are of same data type, what is inside it is not its botheration. They are separately handled. Okay. So this way the array of structures can be managed or can be accessed. Is okay? Anything to be asked? You can just interrupt in between and ask. Nothing? Okay. We shall move forward. This is the way we can define or initialize the array even. Okay. The way we have initialized the structure members in previous example, here we can initialize the entire array of structure. What way we can do it is this structure called as book is this, and I am taking different examples because you should understand that okay, these are very different types of structures we can make use of. We'll just revise all of them, that how many different types of structures we have used. So the structure book is there, which is having a character array of size 20, which is the name of the book. Another as integer, which are the pages, which will take 4 bytes. Another 20 characters are reserved for the name of the author. 20 characters are reserved for name of the author, and float price is taken. So 20 plus 20, 40 plus 12, 52 will be the total size of this structure. I have defined an array of 3 elements. So 52 into 3 will be the total number of bytes it is going to accommodate in the memory. This array is going to accommodate in the memory. So first 52 will be for B0. Sorry, B0, B1 and B2. Now we are, instead of again going for initializing or taking the values, if I am sure that what are the values to be entered, I will directly initialize it. So a braces, within the braces, first curly braces will refer to B1 0. Okay, second curly braces is B1 1 and third curly braces are B1 2. So this simply the name will be copied here, pages will be copied here, author's name will be copied here, and the price tag will be copied here. So this is the way we can make use or initialize the array of structures, right? So I hope I made this point also clear. Now coming to the last point of discussion, as far as C language is concerned or the basics of C are concerned, all those basics which we learned till date, we are going to make use of them in the data structure. So coming to the next topic, which I will leave to you to some extent, I'll just introduce you with that part, the implementation part or the example program you can see by yourself. When we declare a structure, what happens? When we declare a structure, what happens? Say, let us say that it is a character X and float Y. Size is 1 byte and size of float is 4 bytes. So totally it is going to take 5 bytes.
So,
yes.
अरे इनपुट नहीं डाल सकते अरे में, जैसे कि नेम ऑफ स्टूडेंट अपन अपने मन से डालते, तो वैसे आप एक आधा एग्जांपल बताइए।
नहीं, एक बार फिर से बताओ बेटा, आपका आवाज कट रहा है।
मतलब कि अरेज में जैसे कि नेम ऑफ स्टूडेंट है, रोल नंबर के इनपुट मार्क्स वगैरह।
हर्षली, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू टाइप इट। आपकी आवाज बहुत ज्यादा कट रही है, प्लीज टाइप इट, आई विल वेट फॉर इट, प्लीज टाइप इट।
Sir,
हाँ
sir, your voice is not clearly audible.
My voice is not audible. Is it the case with everyone? बाकी लोगों को भी सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है?
Yes, sir.
अरे तो अब तक के बताए क्यों नहीं, क्या कर रहे थे आप लोग? हाँ, जस्ट अ मोमेंट। Harshali, meanwhile you please type your doubt.
Now, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Fine. So, Akshali is saying that please show the example of structure to input the array like name, roll number, and mark. Means you want how to scan them as a scanner statement. And in earlier example, we directly put the information, but if the user want to put information, how to do it? Okay, Akshali. That example I have taken as the first one only here. I'll just erase all these things from here. Now, I hope they have this you have understood that we can input it. So it's very simple. Just just put a scanf statement here. It is going to work. Scanf. This ID is a integer element. Integer element I can just put in this way. I'll just write R here instead of record. This second. Okay, this is possible. This way we can enter the scanf element, or here for that matter scanf %f and record one dot name. Okay, so this way we can scan the elements. So it's a normal practice. I think in some example I might have taken this way. Here the way I am inputting this name, I can also input just what, instead of S it will be the subscript and the array name. So on the similar grounds, what I am doing is, instead of S there, this is having its subscript name. So this is your record0.id. Scanf %d record0.id, ampersand record0 of id. So this way we can do. Sorry, here the ampersand should not be there. With string, ampersand doesn't go. So is it, Harshali?
Sir, please check chat box.
हाँ
सर चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट किए मैंने.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, तो वही देखा ना मैंने. आप बोल रहे हो what if size is array is n can't be used for yes. See, all the functions, whatever all the operations which you can perform on a normal variable, they all can be put in on the array element. Okay, there should be no confusion. Like here, what I am doing is arrays record 0, record 1, and 2 are separately identified, are separately inputted. What simply we can do is, instead of this, I'll just here from here onwards, I can just put a loop of I equal to 0 to I equal to 2, I plus plus, and I can simply put the array, and I can say that scanf RI, I'm writing in short, RIID, or scanf RI name. So I will be varying from 0 to 2. I will be varying from 0 to 2. So this is possible to use array for a array of structure also. The way we are using it for any of the other arrays, it is possible to use the array of structure. So that is not a difficult thing in this case. Like here you see, sorry, I totally forgot, it is mentioned here only. This for loop is printing all the 3 records. So here you can see that I is used for it. Okay, I is used for it. So I is equal to 0. So it will be printing the 0th record, that is 1, Raju, and 86.5. Again, I is equal to 1 will print the information of second student and then third. So your doubt is about that. What?
Yes, clear, sir.
And also the example I have shown, you can use the normal scanner statement for this. Okay. Then only, if you see, you are using loop, then only it is there is a sense in using an array. Otherwise, if you are not using loop, then there is no point. We can just go now for number of structure variables. Now, as you can see this definition or the other definitions of a structure, let us see this definition also. Here the total size of array is 13 bytes, or here in this case total size of array is we have calculated as 52 bytes, where there are 4 elements and all 4 will be separately mentioned. But every time, not all 4 are going to be used. There are few cases, there will be few cases that every time all the 4 informations will not be used. Here in this case we are using, but there are few cases where it may not be used, and there is no point or where 2 elements will be accessed at the same. At a very point of moment, only one variable will be accessed by the C program. So here what's happening is a structure employee is defined which has a character and which has a float value x and y. So 1 plus 5, it is going to take 5 bytes, and when E is going to get created, it will be created. There will be a container which will have 2 parts in it, that is x and y, and first byte will be reserved for x and next 4 bytes will be reserved for y. Union is a very similar construct which is there in C, but only difference it has it shares a memory. It shares the elements. The same definition which is written here with structure, I am writing here with union. Union is a valid keyword where we are defining a user-defined data type exactly similar to the structure. The structure will be, as we are bringing dissimilar elements together in a structure in a similar fashion, will be done with the union. Everything is same. We can have dissimilar elements in that, we can create the variables for that, we can create the array for that, we can use pointer within it, we can use pointer for it, we can also use nested unions. Everything is absolutely same as far as unions are concerned. Only difference in structure and union is this shares the memory. This shares the memory in the sense it will find out how many members there. It will find out what is the largest or biggest member in this. In this comparison, the largest member is float x, float y. Here the largest member is character name. In this case, the largest member is B name as well as author. They are of the same size. So what union will do? Union will allocate the highest piece of memory it is asking for. So it is asking for 4 bytes for a float, which is the biggest member element. Then this is going to have only 4 bytes for union, and of which byte will be used by X whenever needed. Whenever needed. Okay. So memory is shared in case of union, whereas separately allocated in case of structure. So here you can see it is going to define a block of only 4 bytes because for the biggest element in it, and X and Y both will try to reside or try to share that space with each other. Okay, practically it is little difficult to manage. Let us see one more example. We have a ID number which will take 4 bytes. Your name is going to take 30 bytes and salary is going to take 8 bytes, or in this case 4 bytes only are taken. So here among these, this is the biggest member. This is the biggest member. Okay. Similarly, sorry, in this exact thing we are making use of. So this structure, in this is the biggest member. In this, it's very clear that 4 bytes will be separately there for ID number, separate 30 bytes for and separate 4 bytes for salary. What will happen in union case? In union case, there will be a only block of 30 bytes will be here. We are going to consume 38 bytes in structure. Here we are going to consume only 30 bytes. Okay. And ID number and salary are going to use this space or share this space whenever is needed. Okay. So whenever such cases happen that we are not going to use complete information, Why we are saying this? See the example here. This example says that employee is having these three information, but manager is also an employee. So this information is already, his ID number and salary is already stored in the employee record. So the important thing is character for us. Important thing is rather ID number, but character is the biggest part. So if whenever character name is used, then we are going to use 30 bytes. So maximum, whatever the biggest member is there, that much piece of memory will be allocated, and the smaller members are going to share that space. Which this union is not that frequently used, because there are very few cases in which we use this, but this is one very good example of how C deals with memory so sharply. One is pointers and the second is union. So this way you can declare a union variable. I'm not going to take any example for that. I leave it up to you to decide for to go through the examples of union program. So this is all from my side in today's lecture. Anything you wish to ask, you can ask. Fine. I think